Welcome to the channel. Much love and peace. I'm the Ant Dog.
I'm Kylie Ray.
And in this video, we wanted to talk to you guys about 9 ways to strengthen your intuition. In life, there is a divine pathway guided by your intuition. And when you walk into a room, your intuition may tell you about the people in that room. It may tell you about the energy of that room. Your intuition can guide you in life as far as what you want to do with your life. A lot of times, you may look at a piece of fruit and say, my intuition tells me that this fruit is ripe. It also goes into synchronicity. So let's say that you were thinking about somebody and in that moment they call you. I think that your intuition comes from your third eye as well as other parts of your body. Like, it all comes together.
Your intuition is basically messages from your higher self. So a higher frequency of yourself is giving you messages to tell you where you need to go, tell you if you need to be careful in a situation. Like, if you get a phone call from someone and you get a really uncomfortable feeling in your stomach, that person probably doesn't have good intentions. You can use your intuition when you meet somebody and see if they're a good person to be around based on your feeling. Ways to strengthen your intuition are how you will decipher between this conditioned fear and your actual intuition. And that's why we think it's important to go into this subject.
Numero uno. The first way to strengthen your intuition is through meditation.
So with meditation, it's not always sitting in a lotus pose, with your hands however you want them to be. That is an awesome way to meditate, but that is not the only way to meditate. Ways that you can meditate are freestyle dance, drawing, making up music. There's all kinds of ways that you can meditate, and I think that using your intuition in that also strengthens it. It's kind of like a cycle. You get in a cycle. You use your intuition and it works more.
I really like what you said there, and I just kind of want to elaborate on that and bring it into astrology a little bit, because let's say that you're a water sign, right? So you might be able to sit there and meditate and focus on visualizations of maybe where you want to go in the future or what you want to manifest. Or maybe you're sitting there focusing on something that you need to heal within yourself. Meditation isn't always, staying silent, clearing your mind. Sometimes it's all about thinking and letting thoughts come to you and processing them.
It really depends on the situation and what you are trying to work on in your life at the moment.
Right. And let's say that you're a fire sign. Sitting still and being quiet might drive you nuts. It might drive you bananas. So, for these kinds of people, yeah, running, cycling, there's a lot of different things that you can do to clear your mind and, allow creativity and things to come to you.
So the more that you listen to what's going to work for you at that time, that's going to strengthen your relationship with your intuition. And meditation is so important for building your intuition, as quieting your mind allows you to actually listen on a deeper level. And that's really where a lot of your intuition is going to come from, is from this place. So the second way to strengthen your intuition is going into nature.
Wow, that's really important. So what I found is that every environment carries its own frequency. So if you go to the beach has its own frequency. If you go into the forest has its own frequency. When you go into the city has its own frequency. And based on what environment you're in, you tap into that frequency. So when you're out in nature, there's going to be portals that are open that you can tap into. There's going to be a lot more subtle energies, that you're riding the waves with. When you're out in the city, things are a little bit more cluttered. There's so much going on. There's so many distractions. And so I think that going out into nature can get you away from a lot of those distractions, a lot of those energies that are influencing you. And yeah, nature is just great for connecting, with source energy. And as I was saying, the intuition is a divine pathway, and nature can help you tap into that.
So along with going into nature, another way you can tap into that energy, like he was explaining, is grounding. Taking
That's
off
so
your
important.
shoes and putting your feet directly on the
earth.
ground. Just like, think of yourself as a tree, like connect your roots deep down. And this is another way that you can meditate. Going into nature, sitting on the ground, imagining yourself connecting into the earth, putting your roots out. This will give you an overwhelming sense of peace and serenity and brings you right back into that high frequency to strengthen your intuition.
Grounding in nature is so important. This isn't something that you could just do on concrete or like on the carpet in your house without your shoes on, or walking around the street stepping on glass. You want to be out in the dirt, in nature, connecting to the magnetic energy of the earth, because you're actually collecting like ions and different energies from the earth through your feet. Like your feet are a portal through your whole body, and you're actually recharging your physical body and your energy body with the power of the earth. And these are things that are going to strengthen your intuition. The third way to strengthen your intuition is being present.
So, to be present, you generally will, turn off your emotions. You won't be worrying about the future. You won't be dwelling on the past. You'll just be here now. A lot of times you'll be in situations where, let's say someone's having a political debate and you're sitting there like, oh, this makes me so upset. I want to say all these things, but really you have to remember that a lot of times, like, yeah, maybe you want to say something, but it's not like you're going to change their mind. And I think it's better to just be observant and just be there, because really, flustering your mind with all these emotions isn't helpful for you. And so I think that a good way to strengthen your intuition is being in situations, or like hanging out with your kids, rather than worrying about, oh, am I a good mom? Oh, am I like doing enough for them? Just be with your kids. Just be with your partner. Like, don't worry about what's going to happen in the future. Don't think about what's happened in the past. Just be here now.
So part of being present is a daily, non-stop meditation that you want to practice through your life. Being present in all moments, connecting to the I am, the oneness of the all that you're connected to. So feeling the temperature on your body, smelling the fragrances of the plants around you and food that's cooking, feeling your hair on your body, feeling the energy of those around you, really tapping into what's going on right now. And that's so important for strengthening your intuition, because when you're dwelling in the past, you're not really here in the now, you're somewhere else. When you're too much into the future, it's important to focus on the future, and align your frequencies to, manipulate the reality to manifest what you want in this life. However, you can only sit there for so long. You actually have to take action in the now. You can't take action in the future, and you can't take action in the past. You can't change the past. You can only learn from the past. And these are key points.
Fourth way to strengthen your intuition is your diet.
So, I really don't like the word diet because it has the word die in it. Eat to live, my friends. If you look at the abbreviation for a standard American diet, is SAD, SAD. Most people's diets are doing the exact opposite of strengthening people's intuition. In fact, it's actually degrading people's intuition. Like, that's so important. You are what you eat. And the foods that you put in your body is literally gonna make up the construct of what your physical body consists of. And I also like to say that when you eat, not only are you feeding your physical body, but you're also feeding your energy body. And the reason that this plays into your intuition is because when you eat, you're either feeding disease or fighting it. And that's so important when we also look into high vibrational foods and low vibrational foods. And yeah, eating a plant-based diet is obviously going to be the best way to only eat the most high vibrational foods. And I don't mean being like some junk food vegan. I mean being a holistic, plant-based lifestyle consumer, you know? And even eating locally and connecting with the trees that you're eating from.
Foods.
Whole foods.
Not processed, comes in a weird package that you put in the microwave. So when you eat foods like this, it hits into your stomach and gives you an uncomfortable feeling that makes it feel like there's something wrong, but really that's more of that like conditioned fear because it's causing your hormones to be imbalanced and it's slowing you down rather than giving you live energy. And for example, the colors of food, like if you see the color blue and let's say you're craving a blue Slurpee, you're not craving a blue Slurpee. You are craving antioxidants. When you see that bright blue color in your food, like blueberries, that means that you are craving antioxidants.
And this is part of your intuition telling you that. And when you start to strengthen your intuition will start to speak to you and tell you things like this.
And you'll realize, you know, besides your condition to think you want a blue Slurpee, you'll realize, oh, I need to eat blueberries.
And there's a war on consciousness going on right now, and that's why these kinds of foods are being served to us, so that we don't tap into our intuition and strengthen it. So, number 5 is actually following your intuition.
So when you actually follow your intuition, it strengthens your relationship with your intuition. Like when you get a feeling that you shouldn't be hanging out with someone and you don't listen. Because, you know, sometimes like if you don't have a good relationship with your intuition, you don't know to follow that feeling. But then something bad happens with this person. They betray you, they hurt you, you know, whatever happens. And then you're like, wow, I remember feeling that and I should have listened. So then, you know, let's say a year later, you get into a similar situation and you get the same feeling and you're like, you know what? I'm going to listen to this feeling. And then you find out that, you know, let's say this friend betrays another one of your friends and you listen so you didn't get betrayed. Small example, but, you know, like actually listening to your intuition strengthens it.
You know, I really like what you said there about building a relationship with your intuition. So I like to think about synchronicities. So when you start to notice synchronicities and paying attention to it and observing them and making an effort to take the time to appreciate each synchronicity, let's say you see 11:11 on a clock, right? And you're like, hey, it's 11:11. Make sure, mental note, right? And the more that you do this, the more that you'll start to see synchronicities happen. You'll start seeing 11:11 more often. It's the same thing for your intuition. So you have to exercise your intuition. The 6th way to strengthen your intuition is by using crystals.
So with crystals, they have a high frequency, and just like, you know, how we were talking about going into nature and tapping into the source energy, the earth energy, crystals are from the earth, and we can tap into their energy and bring them with us, like bringing pieces of the earth with us around.
Yeah, crystals are alive, and they manipulate the energy around you, and they're healing. These crystals are able to affect your energy and bring you into a higher vibration and bring you into a harmonious balance. And being balanced is so important for strengthening your intuition.
So the 7th way to strengthen your intuition is aligning your chakras.
If you haven't studied chakras yet, this is a very important subject. And this isn't some kind of religion. If you're already into this, you know that this is just facts of reality. Like, we go through all of these stages. Every center affects a different part of your life. You cannot live in this reality without living through these centers. So your heart is based in love, you know, and things that might bring this chakra down is living in hate. So, root chakra, feeling safe. You've got food, and you're grounded. So balancing your chakras is going to be so important for balancing your energy so that you can tap into your higher centers, because intuition comes from your higher chakras. So your third eye, your indigo chakra right here over your third eye, and your crown chakra that connects you to the oneness, the wholeness of the all, and your love space that taps you into that love frequency. The highest frequency of intelligence is love, which comes from your heart space, your heart chakra. And your third chakra, which is the I do, which is, your motivation, your drive in life. And all of, your whole chakra system, it just plays such an imperative role in following that divine pathway in life.
When your chakras are out of alignment, it can cause a lot of problems in your life. Like he was saying, when you're living in hate, your heart chakra is going to be out of alignment, and you're not going to have motivation to do things that you love. You need to be on a loving frequency to be able to follow your passions, because even hating one person or hating one thing in life can knock you out of alignment with your passions.
The 8th way to strengthen your intuition is by growing long hair.
So when you grow your hair long, there's a Native American philosophy that I personally agree with, that when you grow your hair for 3 years, you basically grow antennas with your hair, and it makes it so that you are able to be more observant and aware of your surroundings. And so that means that no scissors to your hair whatsoever. That doesn't mean that you can't have a strong intuition without, while cutting your hair and having short hair and whatever, but having long hair really does help. I know that when I was coming up to the point of my hair being grown for 3 years, I was a lot more aware of my surroundings. I can go into a room and have more clarity on people's intentions with me and what's going on.
So a lot of people think that hair is dead or something, but truly your hair is alive. So if you look at hair under a microscope, you've got these follicles that fold over itself. And when you're warm and in the sunlight, it opens like this. All of your follicles open and allows sunlight to come in, which takes in light codes from the sun. This is how we can get cosmic downloads through our hair, which is also connected at the root. The hair root plexus in our scalp connects to our nervous system, which connects to our brain. So our hair actually gives us a 6th sense. So when we talk about that 6th sense, hey, maybe we might be talking about the 7th sense there, because we keep forgetting about hair being one of our senses. A military test was done on the Native Americans where
the Native Americans were amazing at tracking, and they could sense that an enemy was coming before they even got there, and the Native American would leave and tell everybody that they needed to leave before the enemy showed up, just because of their strong intuition and strong senses, right? And so they realized that when they cut Native Americans' hair off, they would lose all this tracking and sensing abilities. And so they would make exceptions for Native Americans in the military to have long hair.
And I think that's another part of this war of consciousness is,
Cutting
the enemy
people's hair.
wants us to cut our hair. They condition us and make us believe that long hair is bad. Why is it so hard to get a job with dreadlocks? So you don't even go get dreadlocks because, these are antennas. They don't want you to have antennas. They want you to cut your hair short and cut your intuition off. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have a strong intuition with short hair.
Yeah.
You could be bald and, be ascended.
If you feel that you want to have your hair long, but there's something that's, like a job or whatever, making you feel like that's not right, follow your intuition and grow your hair long. That's another thing, follow your intuition with how you want your hair to be. Don't let an external source
dictate what
job
hairstyle that you have.
tell you how you should have your hair.
Right. And finally, number 9, become a Peopletarian. your diet does not only consist of food. Your diet consists of everything that you consume. So that means the music that you listen to, the people that you surround yourself with in life, the environments that you find yourself in, the televisions that you watch. All of these things are part of your diet. It's part of what your consciousness is being aware and observing and consuming. And so you can listen to high frequency music, you can listen to low frequency music. Low frequency music is probably going to degrade women, glamorize the evil dollar bill when it's used in a certain kind of way, and glamorize consumerism, murder, these kinds of things. But then you have high vibrational music, like let's say Pleiades or Cruz or Alice Phoebe Lou, something that is talking about the divine energies and tapping into higher consciousness.
Using your intuition and expressing yourself authentically.
Right, same thing with television. We say television is evil, and you shouldn't watch it, get away from it. And yeah, this is true to a certain degree, but a little bit of entertainment, there's some media that is great. Like I watched the pandemic episode of South Park yesterday, like so funny, and it's just talking about shit that's going on in life. But here's what I'm trying to tell you is, like, if you're watching commercials all day, this isn't good for your diet. You're being programmed and becoming a Peopletarian. And people is probably the most important part of your diet, because you are who you hang out with, and you're gaining so much influence from those around you. And if you're hanging around with low frequency people that, are doing things, dwelling in their lower self activities, smoking cigarettes, eating low frequency, acidic meat, dairy, and egg, factory farmed foods, these are the kind of people that you don't want to hang out with, because these people are influencing your energy. So you want to be around high frequency people that are conducive for your growth, for your ascension. And when you're around high frequency people who are strengthening their intuition, that's going to help you strengthen your intuition. Like, you help them raise their frequency, they help you raise your frequency, and it becomes a harmonious balance of lifting each other up to higher levels. So surround yourself with beautiful, loving, high frequency individuals that are conducive for your growth, because this is part of your diet, and you are what you eat. So eat good people. That was a joke. I hope you got it. But yes.
Eat good people. So that was 9 ways to strengthen your intuition. Obviously, that's not the only ways to strengthen your intuition, and you don't have to use all of these ways that we listed. Use what resonates with you. We just wanted to come up with a list to share with you to help, because these are ways that we use to strengthen our intuitions.